Okay, hello and welcome back. My name is Guild Navigator. Hope you guys are having a nice time. You know, as good of a time as I am. I'm continuing to grind on these videos. And by grind, I mean just play the games that I love. The Socialist Party of America. Interesting. What do I want to build? Like once these buildings are done, you know, I got the world's my oyster in terms of stuff that I could build. I do just love building opium farms. They're one of the all-time great things to build. That will be my next goal. I'll spend the rest of my life building opium farms. I mean, sure. Yeah, that sounds good. You can have them. And then I think that these oil rigs, it looks like they're going to make a good amount of money. I don't know. I'll just build them all. What is this? Yeah, I like that. And yeah, I'm just going crazy on the construction here. And then there are no more gold mine options, right? Very cool. Oh damn, they would go actually pretty high. They really just don't want multiculturalism. You know what? Heard. You know what? I hear everything you're saying. I'm just not even gonna try. I'm sorry. That was my bad. How about I do the thing that I said that I would do and forgot about? I completely forgot about giving you guys guaranteed liberties. Yeah, it's annoying that they are just no longer a part of my power block. Tial. I like that. I know that doesn't make sense to do. The combustion engine and stuff like that is good, I believe. Plastics is a good tech, if I remember correctly. My maize farms in Minnesota. Yeah, this is the problem. They've like run out of money. I built all those construction districts. So then they went and spent all their money. What's it looking like globally? Have I expanded my control at all? Like a little bit? Definitely some in Iran, I feel like. But not all that much. If we're going to be totally honest. Whaling is such like a fascinating just concept to me. Like the idea of whaling, that people would like legitimately do that, is just so weird. Dude, that's a crazy high standard of living. You can see everyone in my power block is having a good time. Let's actually see what happened to the Colombian. Yeah, look at them. Look at this. let this be a standard to anyone who would dare, you know, slander me and say that my country isn't good, like we're imperialists or something like that. Look at this. They leave and their whole economy collapses. Simultaneously, everyone in my country is just completely pissed. Everyone is just like Omegle angry all the time. .23% growth. I think your population growth peaks at around 15 standard of living, if I remember correctly, because then above that your birth rate begins to fall. The Great South Italian Migration to West Virginia. Yeah, these food industries just print money. And not only do they print money, but the actual groceries is just like a really good, really good product. More clothes are always good. So if I'm just looking at this in terms of like what is expensive, clothes is like a huge part of it. You know what? Let's just go completely sicko mode. We're going to go from being one of the bottom clothes producers in the world to one of the top ones. Yeah, what do you have to say about that? I'm going to do the same strategy with tools. Look, you may say I'm insane. And I'll have nothing to say to you, because you're almost certainly correct. That I've gone completely insane. I basically don't think you can have enough tools. And I was looking for things to build. Look, now I have the next 12 years of my life queued up. I don't even have to think about this anymore. And then I should be getting the, this here, like now. So if I go from here to here, I'm just going to get a bonus standard of living. And then the really cool thing is this like efficient canning. Boom. Now all of these should just be like truly just making insane-o stacks. Now, if anything, I need to be worried about my standard of living being too high. These are all good things to be exporting. I would rather be turning all that cloth into clothes. No, I'm going to continue, I think, to produce this. I mean, I guess you should make some amount of luxury furniture. I've done a pretty good job, I feel like, spreading out my GDP across the super Midwest. Ooh, the Mexican succession movement. You know, I guess there's a possibility you could just like run out of people to employ, basically, right? Is there a peasants mode? Can I look at the peasants map mode? Where are my peasants? I mean, I still have like a ton. Again, it really does seem like most of my immigration, just continues to be mass immigration. Those mass immigration events. Oh, it's funny that I have an obsession for small arms. It's cute. Have we, has this map changed at all? It looks like Tennessee is maybe beginning to get colonized by Yankeedom. Yeah, but these states are still like thoroughly Dixie, in character and everything. In this universe, Missouri was always like a Union state. Actually, I don't know if they seceded. I can't remember. In that Civil War that I definitely won and didn't cheat. Totally 100%. Dude, look at this. The private construction basically is just like nothing. They're just waiting for funding to become available. I wonder if it's because they've just been privatizing stuff. I have been going just like completely crazy on the construction. And so it wouldn't surprise me if the privatization is going well. We have reached the point that the lag in this game is starting to become annoying. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to end up playing. I doubt that this will be the last episode, but it's Victoria 3. Like, you really can't play till the 1900s. You definitely cannot play until the end in 1936 or whenever it concludes. Dude, I would love an investment rate with you. Interesting. Austria would be a fun game to play. I always enjoy playing as Austria in this game. They have like so much potential to grow. I do not quite have the first GDP per capita. Dude, Brazil has a higher GDP per capita than me. Brazil, excuse me? I have not been respecting your game. And I can't even take the full credit for that. I think just like being part of my market, just is a profoundly positive thing. It's like, bro, just let me help you out. I mean, I care just about having the investment rights more than I care about you being part of my market. You're the one who's going to suffer from you not being a part of my market. Like, I don't really gain that much from having some random new consumers. I mean, I guess if they end up revolting, they end up revolting. I'm not gonna cry over it or anything. The lack of loyalists is annoying. They want... So they want us to have trade privileges in the UK. Am I understanding that correctly? You just would never accept this. Because you don't like me. You know what? Fair enough. can't say anything about that. Okay, so they're beginning to, reaccumulate their resources. Is this is this in these new provinces? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just like taking over their economy as soon as they don't even know what's going on. They look away, and everything is just like being purchased by me. That's an insane number of cotton plantations to be growing there. I wonder if they had built up like a shirt manufacturing economy or something like that. Dude, my Lee Wilson's and company. I'm trying to think of why we would be building so many cotton plantations. It's harder to tell now because there's like the whole international trade, like in earlier patches in the game, because there was like so much autarky. It was easier to tell what people were producing. Okay, the refined steel is good because it gives like bonuses to production and stuff. We are the number 2 block in the world. We have more economy than them. We have more military than them. They have a larger military than us, but why are you a bigger block than we are? You just have more prestige. I'm just number 2 at everything. I can never quite live up to my big brother at the UK. How has Haiti been going since since I regrettably had to give them independence? Urbanize the United States was successful. Okay, I'm starting to accumulate cash again, which is not the type of situation I want to be in. Yeah, it's just so funny that they just built all of these, cotton plantations. GDP ownership, more than 50% American, or like about 50% American in that state. Down like a third of their economy. And yet I still don't have leverage. What does this even mean? Like, where does this leverage even come from? I truly have no idea how this system works. More loyalists sounds good to me. As a man who's never had any loyalists in this game. Hypothetically, I would like a loyalist. I just love looking at what the little private industry is doing. Because I guess we've just decided to go completely, sicko mode. There. I'm trying to figure out why. Just can't do it. Okay, construct the Panama Canal. At some point, I'm going to invade New Granada, probably. If I ever get the chutzpah. What is my truce with Mexico like? I mean, obviously I can't do anything about it yet. That is until 84, so another year. Nice, I can up my fertilizers. And that just increases the output. And it's nice because it replaces laborers with farmers. Some more like middle class pops. Actually, I don't even know if that's good. I assume it is. I don't know what the benefit you get from having like more middle class pops and stuff like that is. I guess more demand, they consume stuff. Okay, let us add more construction. We appear to have decided to I don't know, run out of money. I'm just going completely insane. I mean, obviously that's going to just like push me over the brink, but I refuse to abide having any investment pool accumulate. Like increasingly, I think my radicals are just are basically just the conquered territory in Mexico. Which, like, could I release as a subject? Well, I'm at war now, so no. The Gold in Sonora. I feel like there's a song in there. Again, it really doesn't make any difference because, like, if they revolt, I'll just crush them. So, whatever. When I had enabled this migration thing, I don't know what I was hoping, but I'm not gonna lie, I had hoped a little bit that they would all be moving into my country. Well, I guess they did move to Illinois. Rio Grande do Sul. They're just all mixing together. So I was saying this, but now when I actually look at it, I do see more, more of these pops. Yeah, there's some plantain or whatever. So maybe I was just looking at the wrong one. Let's see, what would be the first one from people migrating? I think that would be the Central American at 450,000 people. I guess I just have a lot of fucking people. Like 75 million people. Dude, I'm losing like $1 million a freaking week at this point. No state has both insufficient infrastructure and available workforce for new private construction. What? I was gonna say, like, there definitely is stuff that they could privatize now. This is why I need, like, investment opportunities abroad. Look, I really need investment rights in you. What would that look like? Take on their debt. They could build in my country. I don't know what they would build in my country. I don't like that, though. But I am willing to give you pretty much whatever goods you want. Interesting. Is there a good you want even more? That was just a random one, I guess, that you did want more. +7. +9. Nope, that's the most that you would want. +8. And I can't do multiple, can I? Another good transfer. I prefer this to just giving them money, because then at least, like, my companies are making some money. And you want to transfer me cloth. I don't see any reason for that. Is there anything you'd want no tariff on? Look, I promise to not do any of that stuff. Same with non-colonization. I'm definitely not going to give you a treaty port addendum. I give them a monopoly in my country. Well, I guess let's just see. Would you accept this? It's been declined. Because if it is really true that there's just nowhere to build, that would be really sad. But I don't think that is true. I don't think we've yet run out of things to build. I don't know how crazy my investment in Persia is going. Am I just like beginning to chase any return I can find anywhere? Man, I would love to be able to invest in you. Oh, that's an easy yes. I was trying to get investment rights with anybody. Please, my poor companies, they have nothing to spend money on. Yeah, okay, no, I wanted that. What would it take? You want investment rights in me? That's just never going to happen. What about you, Ottomans? No such luck. In Siam? Well, we're beginning to expand our trade center in Bengali Siam. I'm just continuing. I'm gonna crash their entire economy. These poor people, I'm like gonna send them into the Stone Age. Because I think I'm probably creating like desperation by making these people unemployed, right? Because I'm like replacing rice farms with the one building. Okay, but I think that this is a good place to wrap it up. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.